Hello, everyone. My name is Kim Hayworth from the Facebook page Good News Daily and from the website to come, goodnewsdaily.info. And today I'd like to add to the video that I previously shared about balance and harmony and coherence. So we had talked about, some of these things in our lives that create discordance and disharmony and dis-ease within the body, such as unprocessed emotions and traumas and limiting beliefs, things that have happened to us that we have not processed or dealt with. And those things can become real things within the physical body and also affect our mental health also. So I'd like to talk a little bit more about that and what that looks like and how that creates inflammation. So you can look at it as almost like a big boulder in a river where the water is trying to go around it, but it's blocking a lot. And in traditional Chinese medicine, they call it qi. It's blocking a lot of the energy to get to maybe a specific organ, maybe a certain group of cells, a certain area of the body, and then that can create stagnant energy flow, and that maybe that part of the body isn't even receiving enough nutrients. So that's part of it. And you can even look at it as, maybe a beaver creating home in a lake or a river, and that creating a dam. Where it actually blocks the flow of water in that case. In this case, we're talking about energy, blocking the flow. And then that creates stagnant energy. And that stagnancy is what creates the inflammation. And all of our thoughts and our emotions behind that increases that inflammation. And, things that can create that fight or flight that we're in at that time could even be things that we haven't experienced in our own lifetime that we brought with us. There was a study done, I believe it was at Emory University, with cherry blossoms and mice. And these mice, they had exposed to cherry blossoms, and as soon as they started smelling the cherry blossoms, they gave them a mild shock. So then the mice started to relate cherry blossoms with pain. And so then they were in a fight or flight type of thing every time they smelled the cherry blossoms. Even though cherry blossoms are not harmful to most of us, they created a safety net around that, and it meant danger. So what they did in this experiment is that they removed generations from the shock from the cherry blossoms, and these generations down the line hadn't even smelled the cherry blossoms, hadn't received the shock, but yet when they introduced it later on in their adult mousy lives, they started to experience this kind of fear towards them and reacted in a fight or flight response towards the cherry blossoms, even though they had never received the shock or the smell of that prior. So it just shows you these things that we can carry with us can also create a form of stress in our bodies. Not to say that they can't be healed, because they absolutely can be. We can change those things, and that's the good news. That's the good news for today. These things can all be healed and can change to what we would like them to be, to allow our bodies to come back into a beautiful place of grace and ease and flow and balance. So I hope this is beneficial and maybe brought a little bit more clarity to you today. Take care. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.